Diana, hello. Diana is okay?
Yes, everything.
Diana, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay. Thank you very much. And also, we are expecting, yes, your name. Your name? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Please, diyor ki ben giremiyorum diyor bak. Şu kapıyı. I can't hear you. Could you please, push the microphone, please? Your microphone image. Okay? Your microphone, push the microphone image, please. There is a microphone picture in front of you. Okay? Then you can, push the, microphone image, and then you can hear me. Okay? Kimmiş lan içinde?
Mehmet orada zaten.
Mehmet Bakgöz.
Birinci sırada
Mehmet, can you hear me?
Yes, I am hearing you.
Okay. And also the other one. Adı neymiş? Diana, okay. Efendim?
Yes, I hear everything.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear perfectly.
Diana, you are okay, but Kevser, you can't hear me, yeah? Kevser beni dinleyemiyor ya. Kevser? Ne diyor? Hani nerede?
Aşağıdan.
Şuradan.
Ha, orada.
Ne diyeceğim? Hani nerede? Şu bak, enable chat diyor. Şuradan. Hani nerede? Şu. Şuraya mı geçelim? Kevser sen duyamıyor musun? Kevser. Ay, geliyor.
Onlar şeyleri yükleyecekler hocam şu anda. Sunularla. Sağ taraftaki slide sembolünden sunu yükleyecekler.
Onlar yükleyecekler.
Sonra sırası gelen açacak.
Tamam, önce şeyden başlayalım.
Diana konuşalım.
Diana, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
You are okay. Could you please install your presentation, and then we can start from your presentation, okay?
I already uploaded my presentation.
If you are ready, okay. Yeah, I mean, we can start with your presentation.
Okay, can I start now?
Yes, please.
Okay, do you see my screen and the presentation?
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for the invitation, and thank you so much for being here listening to our presentation of the Free Kids project. My name is Diana Gonçalves. I'm from Portugal. I'm a project manager and co-founder of Jumping Up Association for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Do you hear me clearly?
We can hear you, Diana. Okay, you are okay. Yes, we are okay. Yes, you are okay, and we are okay as well. I don't know whether Kevser, can you hear us? Kevser?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just trying to turn on my video.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Diana, please.
Yes, you can hear me.
Can you introduce yourself just in short time, okay, and then you can start your presentation. Please go on. Okay.
Okay, thank you. My name is Diana Gonçalves. I'm from Porto, Portugal. I'm project manager and co-founder of Jumping Up Association for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I will be presenting today the Free Kids project, which is a project under an European project, and I will be introducing you to this project, which is ongoing. If you are all able to see the presentation, I will proceed. and we will leave the questions and answers for last. Do you see my screen? Is it okay? Super. So the Free Kids project, Allow Your Children to Make Mistakes. It's an ongoing project under the range of Erasmus Plus program, strategic partnerships for adults education. It is a project that was developed under a transnational cooperation of 8 partners from 5 different countries, including Portugal, Turkey, Slovenia, Romania, and Lithuania. Among the consortium of partners, we have schools, universities, NGOs, and SMEs. And this project is coordinated by a cluster of schools of Gondomar, of our city in Portugal. Introducing you concretely to our project. We must say that we have done an extensive research that led us to conclude that overparenting is the leading cause for children's failure and difficulties in dealing with everyday obstacles. We are living in a millennium where most of the parents are overprotecting their children and keeping them learning and evolving into independent adults. Of course, we understand that it's good that parents are involved in their children's life, although too much overprotection and control can push children back into growing and evolving as autonomous and independent. Therefore, the reasoning for this project's development and implementation was set behind the growing concerns and the main concerns regarding children's independence and autonomy, which is quite often parents' overprotection, especially when it comes to children's early ages. We mean children's among primary school mainly. Considering that parents and teachers play a super important role in the children's education, we aim the project to equip the teachers and the parents with tools and knowledge to help them in the different stages of parenting, to provide them support in raising independent individuals, and at the same time to decrease stress factors for parents. As most of us know and understand, parenting is a quite stressing task. So therefore, this project aims as well to reduce the stress factors around the parenting. The main aim of this project is, therefore, to improve the children's overall well-being, physical and mentally growth as individuals with less overprotecting behavior from parents. Of course, it is crucial that parents are involved in their children's education, that they are able to give good directions, and that children are able to rely on parents. Nevertheless, it is also important that children are able to make their own decisions, while the parents offer them support and advice instead of being the ones making the decisions for them. Please let me know if I'm speaking too fast. About this project, as I referred previously, this is an ongoing project with a duration of 24 months and is under development and implementation within the partner countries mentioned before. This project was submitted and approved in the mid-2020, so it will be at the end and the mid of 2022. This project finds reasoning in the following needs that were identified under an intensive study and research that was done previously to the project submission. The needs are: the parents lack skills to effectively raise a responsible child, which means that we need to support a strong parent-child bond. Also, parents need to develop a greater appreciation for the vital role they play in their children's education. This means that sometimes people rely the education of their children on the teachers. So there needs to be a more bigger involvement of parents in the teaching process. And also teachers need knowledge about overparenting and transferring it to parents through good teacher-parents relationship. So also a big concern and need is the improvement of the communication and relationship between teachers and parents, which will, of course, be reflected on the education of the children. Considering the aforementioned needs, this project focuses on two main target groups, parents and teachers. Parents of children aged 4 to 9, as we mentioned, we are focusing on children on early ages, and teachers involved in everyday work with parents. By teachers, we mean, of course, the teachers, but also youth workers, educators, pedagogues, and other professionals involved in the education of these children. Furthermore, the project target groups, we will use this project to raise awareness among parents about the negative impact of this overparenting, not only physically, but mentally and in the health of the children. We'll learn how to timely detect good and bad parenting techniques. We'll learn how to implement modern parenting techniques in everyday family life and also in the school environment. We'll learn how to implement constructive and positive parenting. And this project will be educating teachers and parents to fully understand their children's behavior patterns, resolving lousy parenting habits and skills. Of course, providing new and innovative approaches to parenting. Regarding these results, and why did we choose these results? Because under our research, we understood that there are not many approaches dealing with this complex problem of overparenting. And also the existing approaches are not very well defined and lack some qualitative information. So therefore it was important for us to give a better insight and more concrete information about the problem of overparenting and how important it is to prevent it and give good parenting techniques. The foreseen results will allow, of course, parents to develop their own competences, to be able to recognize overparenting and how to cope with it. They will be able as well to create convenient family environments where children can make mistakes and grow by themselves. Under the project, we will be developing 5 different project results. The first one is a manual of good practices. The second, a training for teachers. The third, a training for parents, of course, under the topic of overparenting. Then we will have a guidebook on healthy parenting. And the last one, but not least important, is a Free Kids e-portal that can be used by teachers, by parents, by educators, and any other person who might be interested on the topic and who would like to learn about parenting techniques. On the other hand, the teachers will use the results of the project as well to raise awareness about the impact of this overparenting on physical and mental health of the children, and to detect unhealthy parenting behavior on children, implementing modern parenting techniques in everyday school. In the end, the main and biggest result will be a school with healthy environment, with knowledge and skills about overparenting, and as well with supportive parenting and parents' communities where they can learn mindfulness in child raising, fostering their child's early independence, and improve their family's well-being. We saved for last the suggestions for this project, so it is important to refer that we consider this Free Kids project of unique value for teachers and parents' education, and also has an important social value. All the partners involved in the project have been greatly inspired by the idea, and are strongly convinced that these outcomes will lead to extensive exploitation activities even after the end of the project, meaning that all partners and other stakeholders who are interested in the topic will be able to use the project results and outputs for the development of new project ideas and to conquer the participation of other organizations from different EU countries, and also to transfer the innovative approaches and products into other areas of education. If you want to know some more about the project and the ongoing project results and development, here are some contacts, meaning our website, Facebook, and Twitter, where we do an extensive dissemination of the project and share the project results. And for last, we saved the questions and answers if you want. And also here is the contact of our organization and my personal contact. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this presentation.
Thank you, Diana. Your presentation is very beneficial for us as well. Thank you very much for your very well-organized presentation.
Thank you.
We understand, actually, we understood that the family environment, if the family environment is comfortable, the children, if children make mistake, and if parents allow the children to make mistake in the family environment, and if the growing children environment is comfortable for children and for parents, children grow by themselves as we expected. But can you make one sentence or two sentences, brief suggestion to us, how can how the parents can help children to make mistakes, or to to make mistakes, and what kind of mistakes can parents allow children make actually? Could you please briefly make one or two sentences suggestions?
Okay, thank you for the question. That is indeed a very good question. That we also get that question from the parents involved in the project. As we understand, it's really hard for parents to see their children fail at something and to make mistakes. And therefore, to avoid that, sometimes parents do the tasks for the children, even simple tasks, to prepare their bag for school, to do the homework for them, or to take them to school and pick them at the door of the school, so not letting them any safe space for mistakes. It is, of course, important that parents are supportive, that they are involved in their children's education, but also parents need to know that children need space to make mistakes, to understand their mistakes, and what can they do to improve and not repeat the mistakes. This is the process of education. Children learn by seeing, and children learn by doing. Therefore, they need to do and experience things for themselves. I know it is hard for parents to see and be aware of this, but if parents don't let the children make the mistakes by themselves, they will never know the right answers and the right actions to avoid the same mistakes. And therefore, they will be more dependent on parents, more dependent on teachers, and also more dependent on society when they will grow up, because they will not be used to make mistakes and to recover from that. So our main suggestion is to give some space, and also to give education on mistakes, on failure, to make them understand what they have done and what they can do better to improve next time. We can't hear you. I'm sorry, but I can't hear you. I see you're speaking, but I can't hear. I'm sorry, Professor, but we can't hear you. I can't hear you, at least.
Hakan Hocam, your microphone is mute, I think.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot the microphone is closed. Thank you, Diana. Thank you for your answering giving answers to my questions. I think there are some friends who is suggesting some ideas about child growing styles, or some friends are asking some questions to you. I don't know whether you can see the questions asked by the participants on the screen. Diana, can you see some questions or some suggestions on the screen?
Yes, I see some suggestions, not quite questions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Some very useful suggestions. Thank you.
Okay. Let's, take a second presenter. I don't know. You have a list here in front of you. Who will be the second presenter?
Hakan Hocam, I am the second presenter.
Okay. Efendim? Who will be second presenter?
I am Mehmet. I am the second
Mehmet,
presenter.
yes. You can start your presentation.
Okay.
First of all, you can introduce yourself just briefly, and then you can start your presentation, okay? Mehmet, neredesin Mehmet? Vidos Mehmet. Yes. Mehmet is coming.
Sorry, my internet is connected. Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
We can hear you. I don't know, Diana, Kevser, and the other.
I can hear you. Thank you.
We can hear
Perfect.
as well.
My name is Mehmet Tokgöz. I am English teacher, and I am working in Konya Provincial Directorate of Education as a project coordinator. And we are working in this project with my colleague Emrah and our project coordinators Levi and Beata from Belgium, and my teacher Aga Turukorcu also helped us in this. Do you my screen right now? Okay, I'm starting my presentation. The new digital tools are at the base of new industrial revolution, or let's say evolution, which is widely known as Industry 4.0. But however, this industry needs significant amount of highly skilled labor who can understand, develop, use, and update the digital tools used by the companies. And these new technologies and skilled labor can be found at maker spaces, fab labs, or hacker spaces. And the project idea comes from here. And these places are equipped with 3D printers, laser cutter CNC machines, and 3D scanners. And also there are also some softwares such as SketchUp, AutoCAD, and Autodesk are some of the examples of this software. And these places are also promote the idea of entrepreneurship, motivation to create, and opportunity to tinker. The people who have maker skills called as highly skilled, and there are so many people to have these skills. And therefore, the project aims to give access to the digital and 3D tools to a larger audience made of teachers, students, unemployed or low-skilled people who want to improve their skills to stay up to date and keep on evolving with the companies. Makers Plus project aims to create common European courses which enables getting a global approach and giving opportunity to the trainees to integrate themselves in a new sustainable field. And there are so many and accessible training materials to discover maker spaces or fab labs. So this is one of the innovative aspects of our project. While the trainees learn to use different equipment and software in a maker space, they will also improve soft skills such as teamwork, communication skills, problem-solving skills, and critical thinking. When we look at the part of our project, the maker movement can be emerged from the people's eagerness to create new things rather than just consuming them. And it is also described as making almost everything, such as from robotics to cooking or woodcrafts to mechanics. And the idea of maker movement or maker culture creates different communities around the world. And we are going to talk about these communities. The three main maker communities are named as Makerspace, Hackerspace, and Fab Lab. About our project, Makers Plus project is funded by Erasmus Plus program of European Commission, and it is a strategic partnership in the field of vocational education. In this project, there are 7 partners from 7 different countries, and the coordinator of our project is an adult education center in Belgium. The project is funded in 2019, and it will continue 30 months. And Konya Provincial Directorate of Education is one of the partners in this project, and the other partners of this project are 2 Fab Labs. One of them is in Germany, and the other one is France. An adult education center from Austria, vocational education center from Iceland, and a non-governmental organization from Spain. There are 11 intellectual outputs to be created by the project partners, as this project is an innovation project. And you can see on the right our project logo. When we look at our project closely, there are 3 places, 3 communities, and these are maker spaces, fab labs, and hacker spaces. Makerspace is a collaborative workspace inside a school or a library to separate a private facility for making, learning, exploring, or sharing the of high technology or no technology tools. Whereas Fab Lab is called as Fabrication Laboratory, is a small-scale workshop offering digital fabrication, and it is different from Makerspace, as it is a trademark name of MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and it has specific rules and machines. Hacker spaces are community-operated physical places where people share their interests and tinkering with the technology. Design and skill labs in some of the schools in Turkey, as you know, can be a simplified version of these maker spaces, and people can make almost everything in these places. When we look at our output, and I'll start a short video about to know what is a Fab Lab and what kind of tools in this Fab Lab. And I will introduce our outputs. And there are 11 outputs, as I told, and the first 3 of them give some basic information to the participants of this project. And the first one is and third one is created by our organization, and one of them is makerspace and makerspace culture, to give what the participants, what is a maker and what are makerspaces and what kind of culture of them. And the second one is craft and materials, and people learn what kind of tools and materials used in these maker spaces. And in the third one, documentation. In this documentation part, people learn where to find documents of the products to be created in the maker spaces. And the other outputs are specific information about 2D conception, electronics, mining, programming, and 3D conception and 3D printers. On the video, you can see the tools that are used in these kind of maker spaces or Fab Labs. And these places are a kind of social fabrication place, so people share their ideas instead of hiding them. So they can download documents freely from these places. They can print with 3D printers or other CNC machines, and they use it. Or even they can change these documents, they can remix it, and they produce different products. Main objective of the project is to create...
Mehmet Hocam, you have just 2 minutes.
Okay, I will be quicker.
Please.
Main objective of this project is to create common and complete education training modules for the people who wants to work in a makerspace or Fab Lab. After creating the content, we are going to organize pilot training sessions for the participation of youngsters and adults from the partner countries. Then these trainings will give the possibility to gain expertise in the making. There will be 5 learning, teaching, training activities to prepare the methodology of the outputs and then to teach them to the selected participants from the partner countries. At the end of the project, there will be 3 multiplier events organized in Belgium, Turkey, and Germany to disseminate the project outputs to the target groups outside of our partnership. When we look at the results, the first 3 outputs are ready, and these are maker and makerspace culture, craft and materials, and documentation. And these outputs are prepared, all outputs are prepared in English, Turkish, German, Spanish, French, and Icelandic, and people can use these documents according to their language. Logo prepared for the visual identity of the project, and social media accounts have been created to disseminate project activities into the wider public. Makerspace project will improve the capacity of professional development of teachers, students, and trainers. And the maker mindset will improve teachers and trainers' soft skills such as critical thinking, collaboration, and problem solving. Makerspace will be a learning environment for the students of the project, and they can adapt themselves to create innovative teaching experiences. You can access our project websites from the link from here. And when we look at the suggestions, the use of makerspace in schools and other education settings promote the soft skills, qualifications, and entrepreneurship of the students, as well as improve the quality of education by using multidisciplinary methods. Maker education can be a part of school curriculum to improve the 21st century skills. And lastly, there are very few Erasmus Plus projects work on the maker and maker movement, so EU-funded projects can be prepared in the next years to share good practices with the other European countries. And for the local funds can be used to create maker spaces within our schools. And finally, the number of up-to-date documents and video tutorials, especially in Turkish, can be increased to use in wider public. And thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I am ready to answer. Hocam, your microphone is mute, I think.
Allah Allah. Thank you very much, Mehmet, for your very well-organized presentation. Thank you so much. I think we have very limited time for the presenters because we have very short time. And at the end of the session, probably some friends, we can ask some questions to you and to the others. We have to, start the third, presentation. Kevser, I think you are in turn. Kevser, you can start your presentation, if possible. Kevser, can you hear me? Kevser?
I can hear you. Now my micro is on. And now I need to add my presentation first. How can I upload my presentation? Maybe from file.
We can ask Emrah how to upload your presentation. Mehmet, can you help us how to upload?
Under settings, you have a box that names slides.
Yeah, I clicked to slides, but it seems on my camera not activated, so I cannot click.
Kevser hocam, you can see near the next to the microphone, there is a turn screen share. You can also see screen share.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe I can just do my presentation without my presentation, if you don't mind. So I will speak directly without presentation because I don't know. I cannot see.
If you want to upload your presentation, we can get some help. But or you can.
I think I just explain.
You can prepare your presentation after the others presenter. Probably we can start from other presentation.
Okay,
and then,
then I can try.
And you just you can wait. And you will be fourth presenter.
Okay, I will do last then.
Now we can start from sorry about from Büşra.
Büşra, yes.
Yes, Büşra, you can start your presentation. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, dear honorable scientists, teachers, and participants. I would like to thank you, the host institution, first of all, and I would like to invite also our coordinator school's teacher, if it is possible, because we prepared our presentation together. It is Marina Montero from our coordinator school. If it is possible, I will be very pleased. Or maybe she can just use the microphone as a listener, as a speaker, because we shared some our parts. Okay, so I will start first with the introduction part, why we carried out this project, what was our motivation. First of all, in its broadest sense, education is defined as the process of bringing deliberate change in one's own life and behavior, according to Ertuğ. And in this sense, education is involved in an individual's academic, social, and emotional and physical development. These are must be seen as a whole process. So therefore, teachers, we are as teachers must have a holistic perspective, including the physical, social, and emotional development of students while providing them the necessary information and education. And here the reasons why we carried out this project are the major problems faced by students in their schools, such as early school drops, low participation and low academic performance, lack of motivation and self-esteem, isolation because of their differences, stress and anxiety. And also, recent studies showed that students who are less involved and satisfied with school life are more likely to become vulnerable in their own personal and social life in the future. So for these problems, we have come up with a solution with the term mindfulness. Mindfulness term aims to develop concentration and attention among students, and it also helps them to reduce their level of stress and anxiety because of the academic pressure on the students. And it also manages their emotions, reactions, attitudes, and thoughts through readjusting bad behavior patterns that can affect self-esteem and cause depression and anxiety. So the importance of our project comes from the development of a holistic system, because we will provide the teachers a method to guide their students to develop their emotional and to help their emotional and social development. And about our project, Mind Divers for All project is a 24-month-old Erasmus Key Action 210 project consisting 6 partners from Spain, Turkey, and Malta, and under the coordination of Spain. As we are having a COVID situation, the project activities are carried online through eTeaming platform, and we applied project activities in different groups of students with very different profiles, such as migrant students, gifted students, students with from different socioeconomic or cultural backgrounds, and also students with different disabilities and Down syndrome. That's why project makes a comparison between this group of students and generates a comparative study from a professional analysis of the mindfulness methodology applied to secondary school students. And our target group is between 11 and 14 years old students, mainly a secondary school group. Our project has 2 different stages. In the first stage, workshops for teachers and students have been developed during Discord, and in the second stage, these practices will be exchanged and an online toolkit will be published at the end of the project. We have different teams for each month. From September to December, we carried out some introduction activities on eTeaming platforms, such as online meetings, meeting of participant teachers, and some intercultural activities such as New Year postcard activities. In January, a logo contest was held, and in February, participant schools organized online or face-to-face training programs on mindfulness. And our university partner applied a pretest, an emotional development scale, to students before the workshops. And at the end of the workshops, we will also apply a post-test. Our themes for this course are breathing, attention, and general principles of mindfulness. In March, an international teaming day event hosted by the Spanish University of Burgos. And also some workshops on attention has been organized. These are all online workshops, and in some countries face-to-face workshops were carried out. In April, we will organize workshops on the general principles of mindfulness, and in May there will be an online webinar for students and teachers. And finally, in June, we will evaluate our activities. And now we would like to go on with the results. But if it is possible, Marina Montero from our coordinator school would like to speak. She's here. She's among the attendees. So if it is okay, maybe. Do you hear me now? She's here, but I'm not sure.
Yes, Bushra, we can hear you. If you are finishing your presentation, we can start another presentation. We will ask some questions to you after the session, okay? Because we have very limited. Thank you very much for your very well organized presentation as well. Yes, your project is very, very beneficial as Mehmet's project, because, but you know, I will have a question to you after the session. What is the difference between the practices actually, or theories between holistic theory and the, you know, the other theories? If you can answer to my question, I will be very happy. Probably some friends will ask you some questions about holistic approach. Okay, just from now you can be ready. Okay, for these questions. Kevser, are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready, but still, I'm.
If you are ready, we can start from your.
Yeah, I will start without my presentation because unfortunately my slide buttons seems not activated, so I cannot manage.
Okay.
So I will just explain.
Bushra, are you okay?
Yes. Yeah, I will go on with the results, but Marina is going to continue, but I think you can't hear her, maybe because of some technical problems. I don't know. So I think, unfortunately, I have to go on with the results.
Okay, just in 2 minutes, please. Can you finish your presentation in 2 minutes time?
Okay. I invited her as a presenter, but I think maybe you are the moderator. You have to invite her. I don't know.
We have very limited time. That's why, you know, I am pushing you, okay, to be able to end your presentation. But you have 2 minutes, no problem. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Marina is here as well.
Can you see me and hear me properly?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, because I cannot see myself.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so thank you everybody for having me here, and thank you, Bushra, for inviting us. My name is Marina Montero, and I work in the coordinator school of this project. So I'm going to present the results that we have obtained. So first of all, useful, we hope, and practical materials have been created to design tailored strategies to develop mindfulness systems to be used in diverse groups so as to reinforce the key competencies. And then we want to use these systems also to increase the concentration and attention spans of our students. So as a result, some of the benefits that they have obtained are emotion management, a better or a reduction in stress and anxiety, a better development of their self-esteem, and also they have increased their self-acceptance. So the next slide, thank you. Then through the practice of breathing exercises, students have gained awareness of how to manage their emotions. They have also learned how to cope with anxiety and stress. And these exercises, we consider that they have also helped them with their physical development. Then on a different field, our students have improved their digital skills through the use of online platforms such as eTwinning, where they have post activities, and also 2.0 web tools. And finally, as this is an Erasmus project, students have gained awareness towards other cultures and other languages, so they have enriched their visions. Then, we have here, when it comes to dissemination of the project, social media accounts were created to post all the activities that were done. We have an Instagram and a Twitter account. And then locally, the partners made visits to different institutions, such as city councils or the district national education directorates, to make it better known. Then we also published the project news in the school websites. Our school, the coordinator school, organized an international teaming day in collaboration with the university. And finally, an online exhibition of mindfulness corners and materials will be made this month of April. Okay, so the project's future outlook is, first of all, to generate a mindfulness system in the schools. Then, so achieving to reinforce the teachers' profiles, and therefore to generate an open education and innovative practice related to this mindfulness approach to education. So teachers will be able to guide their students using these techniques in their daily life. So finally, we have some suggestions for those interested in implementing this kind of mindfulness techniques. First of all, that it has been suggested that if the project is focused on meeting the needs of our students, then it should be naturally created as student-centered. And also that their motivation, the motivation of the students, is really important. So it's vital that they feel that the project meets their needs, so they feel involved in it. Okay, and then also that as education is a whole process that includes emotional, social, psychical, and psychological aspects of the development of the students, then the methods and techniques that we use should be innovative, interdisciplinary, experiential, extracurricular, and always student-centered. And well, this is the end of our presentation, so thank you again for having us, and we are open to any kind of questions that you have for us. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Bushra and the other presenters.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much very well for your very kind and very well organized presentation. We will have some questions to you, but after the end of session, we can start from the Kevser's presentation now. If you are ready, Kevser, yes, you can start now.
Okay. So unfortunately, I cannot share my presentation, so I will just go on without it. So today I will talk about a project about tourism perspective. So it is a bit different from the school education, and our project is called Tourism Urban Social Tapestry Project. And it was funded in 2016, and it was actually a 24 months project. And Tourism Urban Social Tapestry Developing Soft ICT Mobile Learning Skills, it was titled. And mainly the project focuses on understanding the information co-created by the consumer shared in social media, and how this has an impact on the tourism sector in terms of especially city marketing. And the education system also has a difficulty in addressing this fast change, and the stakeholder map cannot visualize exactly this as an ICT ecosystem that involves all services that must be based on the service design and community management integration. And as part of these intellectual outputs, today I will just focus on the first intellectual output, because there are normally 5 intellectual outputs. And the first one is about a comprehensive research about the impact of social media on consumer behavior within the scope of city marketing. And generally, this research was carried out in Konya, in Den Helder, and Modena, Italy, and Bucharest, Romania, together with the project partners. But as I mentioned before, I just focus on the research in Konya because of the time limitation. And actually understanding consumer behavior in social media is very important in terms of tourism education as well, because this user-generated data contains very useful information and statements on not only for other users, but also for the stakeholders, for the municipality, for the universities, to make the branding of the city. And when social media platforms are used strategically and creatively, they are in a position to offer a new experience with a digital perspective for the citizens and for the tourists and for the dwellers and other stakeholders. Therefore, it has become an area that needs to be worked on and focused on and analyzed carefully. And especially in 2016, it was very important because we could not find a very detailed research about that about Konya city. And now we are in 2021 and we have lots of research booming up recently about the social media analysis in terms of big data analysis as well. And why these customers or social media data is important, because the customers with greater control in information literacy, they are more involved and engaged and more independent, and they can share anything they like or they don't like in the social media. So it has a really huge power. And also there is a rising challenge in the tourism education as well, for the tourism management perspective, to find out the relevant reviews of the people through opinion minding or sentiment analysis or social media analysis. With this rapid increase in the usage in everyday platform, social media, as I said, it's a very important tool for the city marketing, and we have to analyze, and we analyzed in the project the impact of it on consumer behavior. And the study attempted for that, and we can understand easily the consumer satisfaction, dissatisfaction, expectation, touristic products, service, destination, designs, and whether they meet customers' needs, expectations. So it is a good way actually to understand it. And also, why is it important? The partners, the local partners, one of the local partners is Konya municipality in our project. So it is another important asset of it. And the other local partner is Konya Science Center. So we are 3 institutions from Konya working together to understand this consumer behavior through the social media analysis. And for the methodology, our proposed methodology, actually it is a kind of hybrid nature that can analyze the qualitative data of the consumers in social media. Actually, we retrieve data from social media through hashtags, impressions, ratings in Booking.com, TripAdvisor, and the distribution of average scores there, and people's opinions and feelings. And for that, of course, the municipality, Konya municipality, developed a software program for the analysis, because we need to have a software program for that. And within the scope of that study, we reached and retrieved 93,781 data in 2 weeks, December 15, 2016 and January 7, 2017. Especially we try to collect the data during the Şebi Aruz ceremony so that we can reach more customers, not just from Turkey, but from the other cities or from the other countries as well. And also, while we retrieving the data through that software program, we had some difficulty as well, because in some social media channels like Facebook, there is no application program interface. And so some of the data extracted by using the visitor bootstrapping strapping method, and in that way the HTML codes are extracted. And for the findings, actually, a comprehensive research is carried out by examining the data on different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Foursquare, and Pinterest, Booking.com, TripAdvisor. And the categorization of the comments focused mainly are categorized about cultural and historical monuments, fairs, events, natural resources, health facilities related to Konya, and also the findings are broad. It is a huge data in the social media. Actually, we focused mainly about the hotels, restaurants, and some tourist attractions in that study. When the data examined, it is found that Konya destination is preferred mostly because of its spiritual, cultural and historical values. And there are main 6 categories derived from the 64 key image attributes, and these are generally heritage sites. And the second one is hotel facilities. The third one, transportation and accessibility, and history and culture, landmarks and attraction. And the last one is the entertainment. And for Konya, I just mentioned the most striking results, because I will not go through the details. We don't have enough time for that. Aside from being known as a religious city, Konya, also, for example, in Booking.com, in TripAdvisor, it is defined as a suitable city for culture, museum, and history in terms of different travel possibilities. And the cultural appeal of Konya city is generally overshadowed also by the image of the spiritual city as well. Maybe this is one of the other results. And web-based social media also has provided a different perspective of what Konya offers to the people. And also when we compared with the other studies in the literature, there are some similarities in terms of the results, because the social media posts, it shows that social media posts were influenced of how visitors or local people perceive the city they live in. And in addition, the topics mostly criticized, because there are also some important topics criticized by the tourists or the local people, but mainly for the tourists visiting Konya, have identified like that. One is the high accommodation fee during Shebiaru ceremony, and the second one, the foreign language education problems of the staff working in tourism-related sectors, housekeeping problems or indifference or uncaring staff somehow. Also, there are some transportation-related problems mentioned by the visitors. And also another complaint is some businesses cannot update their blog or website or social media accounts for a long time. And also websites are mostly designed in Turkey, so they are not English or other languages. So these are some of the criticisms of the users in the social media. So the results obtained in this way are also accepted as a feedback on applications and services that is already existed in the sector, and that will contribute to the determinants, the content of the training program, because in the other intellectual outputs of the project, based on the research result, we were planning to develop training programs for the tourism stakeholders and for the students in the tourism education. So this data is important to create this training program, eliminating the deficiencies to develop the geographical and demographic trends and to prepare innovative marketing, city marketing strategies. And with the findings of the study, actually attention has been drawn to the necessity of the NEÜ mobile ICT tourism services are needed, applications are needed that ensure the participation of the relevant stakeholders in order to reorganize these training programs and improve the experience of the visitors. And also a new business model developed for places with strong tourist products and potential. Again, for that business model, we worked actively with the Science Center. And for the details, actually, you could go for the Erasmus results platform. And when you search for the tourism urban tapestry turban project, you can also reach the details about other intellectual outputs of the project. And also the quality of the social media content and the participation of all relevant stakeholders in this process are very, very important. And because when we finished that project in 2018, based on the results and outputs we developed from that project, we started another project. And this time we invited the TURSAP as one of the strongest tourism stakeholder in the project, and they also really worked hard for the city marketing and how to improve these assets, not just in Konya, but for the full country in Turkey. So we goes on with the different projects actually.
Kevser Hocam, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm just finishing. And in city marketing, the research also reveals the necessity of producing innovative content depending on the visitor's experience on social media channels. And also the biggest constraint of the study actually is the complexity, the speed, the confidence and variability of social media data, which consists of millions of data. So it is not easy to retrieve the correct data. And there is a high risk of data loss as well and breakdown in a short time. So continuous backup and correction procedures needed while doing such kind of analysis or the research. Therefore, it is important to consider not only these issues in future research, but also to support the results with the qualitative methods in order to achieve more efficient and accurate results. So my presentation, sorry for not sharing my presentation. I don't know why the problem is that. I hope you can have some idea about our results. Thank you for listening. And if you have any question, I'm here to answer. Okay, I finished my presentation, my talk.
Hakan Hocam, your microphone is muted again.
Ya, şu anda açık.
Evet.
Açık hocam, evet.
Thank you. I thank you all actually, and also I have to thank Kevser Hocam for her very well organized presentation. I thank you all actually. First of all, Diana, Büşra, Mehmet Hocam, Büşra Hocam, and Mariana as well. Mariana, thank you very much. Thank you so much as well for your very well organized presentation. If somebody has a question to one of you, yes, he or she can ask to you directly, or by you know by I mean giving a speech to you, or by a speech, or by you know the via speech or via written style anyway. Thank you very much. Actually, we have finished our time. Sometimes, you know, we had some technical issues as well. But I mean, overall, if we look at the, you know, the presentation, if you look at the presentation overall, everybody presented in a very good style, and we understood, you know, the content of the projects, all the projects. Thank you so much for your presentation. You did very well actually. Congratulations as well. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. And I have to say thank you and bye.
Thank you. Goodbye. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, hocam.
Thanks.
Thank you for letting Mariana as well.
Thank you very much. Bye bye then.
Bye.